You know what? Listen to me for a minute. I am happy for Brittney Griner to be coming home to her wife and not be in a Russian prison anymore. I'm happy for her. I'm sad that she went through what she went through. She did make a mistake, that it was a foolish mistake. That being said, while I'm happy for her, I'm not happy for the situation. I don't think it was worth the cost. And what is that cost? Well, the fact of the matter is that regardless of whatever her identity may be, which is important for some people in this. And it kind of is because of the way people like her are treated in Russia. But the victims of the arms dealer massively, I mean, we're talking about probably thousands of people, many of whom would have similar identities because people like that are typically targeted by these tyrants and stuff, that the minorities are targeted by tyrants that are armed by people like that guy. So while he's not going to go back to doing it, I think about the families of those victims and the lack of justice that they're getting. So, in researching this Brittney Griner situation, I went down quite the rabbit hole that I think you might want to know about, and it also highlights some major problems about the conversations we have in this country. First of all, take a look at what I've highlighted here for you. What was the reason Brittney was in Russia? Well, apparently it's because a lot of WNBA stars go to Russia to play in the off season so they can make more money than they can here. But the language used here is very upsetting to me. Brittney was making $221,000 per year. So sadly, that meant she needed to supplement her income by traveling to Russia. No, she didn't. You're incredibly wealthy if you make $221,000 compared to most people. You didn't need to do that. The rest of that article is just as problematic because it perpetuates this false narrative about this wage gap in the WNBA versus the NBA. What she made was about average compared to, again, they're using the top 10 salaries to compare of 39 million. The WNBA is a charity. It's never made any money. The feminists demanded it and never showed up. And the last point I want to make about this Brittney Griner situation, which certainly is not the least important point, it may in fact be the most important point, is that when countries like Russia detain American citizens with the hope of getting something they want in return, and then you go ahead and give them what they wanted in return, it encourages them and everybody watching to do the same thing, increasing the original problem. And that's why they say don't negotiate with capital T words, which I can't even say because the internet's so censored, but you know what I mean by that. We do not negotiate with capital T words for that exact reason, because it encourages more capital T word actions to happen because it gets them what they want. If it doesn't get them what they want, less of them happen. So by doing this, we are causing more people in the future to be harmed in the same way. We also are completely disregarding the victims and their need for justice of this arms dealer. And I find that very problematic as well. What do you think?